So it looks like we are ready to go live with the first game. This is a live match, and it's going to be StarCraft Ascension Schnitzel versus Ymcmb's Guitar Cheese.
Alright, just waiting for the teams to ready up.
Getting some GLHFs going.
Alright, and we are loading up this game, jumping right on into game number 1. This should be exciting. I am excited. We are, the StarCraft 2 Community Team League semifinals are now underway as the game loads up. It's going to be, as you said, Schnitzel versus Guitar Cheese, a Terran versus Zerg.
That's right, and the first map is going to be Acheron Wastes.
Yep, this is a map that we've seen be really strong in this matchup for both sides, actually, depending on the builds and the way the players end up handling it. But looks like the game is now loaded, and we are ready to jump in here in just a second. As now we are in, and we are live today. These are live played games instead of replays as usual, but in the upper left-hand corner for Team Ymcmb, it is Guitar Cheese.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, representing Team StarCraft Ascension and the blue Terran, it is Schnitzel.
So, Acheron Waste, Gallegation, what are we going to see?
What are we going to see indeed? It seems like Terran, I've seen a lot of Banshees come out of Terran on this map. So, but I don't know that we're going to see that necessarily against Zerg. It could be a fairly powerful build. Depending on how early the Zerg is able to get up those spore crawlers. But however, without the evolution chamber requirement for the spore crawlers these days, they can go up much faster, and typically the Banshee is not the all-kill unit any longer. It's just simply an annoyance for the Zerg.
And it looks like Schnitzel is going to be putting a supply depot out by his ramp, as is the standard, but not building a barracks right afterwards. He's going to be sending that SCV back to do a little bit of mining, so maybe we've got a fast command center coming here. We'll just have to wait and see. So far, just drones out of Guitar Cheese. Looks like he's sending out a drone here. He's going to be probably making a hatchery or scouting.
It looks like he's going to be going for a little bit of a scout, although he's saving up those monies.
There comes the second drone now. So we do have the second drone now coming out that will be for a hatchery, it looks like. And Schnitzel's got the same idea. He's stacking up to 400 minerals, going to be putting on a command center at his natural right away.
And I think that this is a smart decision by both players. Typically, the one base aggression hasn't been as effective lately as we used to see it be. And if you're able to hold it off, or if your opponent rather is able to hold it off, then you are in a very tight position.
Yep, so we'll have to see what builds come out after these. I mean, looks like a barracks coming down now for Schnitzel. All options on the table. The drone coming out now to harass the SCV building that command center. This is so annoying for Schnitzel because to be able to deal with this, he's got to pull more SCVs down off his main line, delaying some mining, switch out SCVs, and have two to push the drone away. But he does, but that does cost him some mining.
And behind that, Guitar Cheese is just taking a third base. So he's going to have 3 hatchery before spawn pool. That is a little bit of a risky play, but it could pay off very heavily for him if he can get that economy up.
Yeah, certainly. I don't think I've seen this in TVZ. This is more of a Protoss build for the Zerg, going quick 3 hatch before pool. I mean, we don't have a pool coming down yet.
Typically, but it looks like Guitar Cheese is feeling confident as he is doing a lot of harassment on that SCV that's trying to build that command center. It is going to finish, and now a bunker is going to be going down. Oh, no, it looks like did he decide not to do it? All right, there it is.
I think he re-rallied that SCV, maybe having a little bit of hesitation there, but there is an Overlord now coming in over Schnitzel's base, so he's going to see exactly what's up, and he's going to know that he's glad that he did that 3 hatch because he's going to be pretty safe here. Now just the first Marine coming out. Yeah,
and with that bunker, it's definitely going to lend itself to Schnitzel playing a little bit more defensively here. And Guitar Cheese is going to have all the time that he wants to really get up those drones, get that economy going, and make the army that he wants before he's going to see any aggression.
Yep, well, it's still yet to see. This is a very highly economic build for both these players, so we just are so far, wow, 3 queens coming down at once for Guitar Cheese, so he's going to be really ramping up on the production here. So we expect to see some gas coming down at some point. Now there's the pool down. It looks like that was just purely to make the queens at this point, but Overlord's all over Schnitzel's base, so he's going to have a good idea what's going on. Second gas going down for Schnitzel now, so he'll be starting to tech in out of this economic build phase here pretty quickly, it looks like, and factory.
That's right, factory, and then the reactor on the barracks. So I would be surprised if those two buildings did not do a little switcheroo.
Yeah, I believe it was Schnitzel that we've seen in the past in TVZ go for a lot of Hellions in the TVZ to keep the creep down, and then even research Blue Flame a lot to do some either drop harass or just build 15 Hellions and just go kill all the workers in the base.
It looks like we might be. Yep, there's the Hellions there, and Starport is going down behind that, so we're going to be seeing some medevacs come out.
Yeah, medevacs definitely a strong build. It seems like the big difference for Terran versus Zerg as opposed to Protoss is it's pretty much just a clean swap between Hellions and Mines.
And they are both units are very good in this matchup, to be honest. Roach Warren is going down now, about to pop, and Guitar Cheese is really swinging into full service here as he's got his drones drones mining from all of his bases. Doesn't have a whole lot of gas input just yet, just mining from 2 Vespene geysers at the moment, but will be able to ramp up as soon as he wants with all the drones. And it looks like Banshee actually, not Medevac, coming out.
Oh wow!
But that gets seen too.
Oh yeah, the Overlord does come in, sees the tech lab on that starport, the Banshee being researched, the tech lab whirring away its own little self. So, I mean, if I was Schnitzel, I wouldn't think it'd be a terrible play just to cancel this and just go for a lot of medevacs. But there are roaches on the field, so these Hellions. Oh, now they're actually trapped in there. So between the Queens and the roaches, these Hellions are not going to be able to get out, depending on the micro guitar cheese here.
Oh, no.
One Hellion goes down. One is very low. Oh no.
He's got to get more drone kills if he wants to make this pay off, but oh no.
That was the definition of lining them up there, Gallegation.
It was.
As they all filtered between that Roach Warren and the hatchery in a perfect line for one epic shot of those Hellions.
Yeah, but unfortunately he was only able to get 3 kills and he lost 4 Hellions in that engagement.
Game sounds are definitely on.
So it looks like Spore Crawlers are going down as he is anticipating those Banshees coming over, and sure enough, the first one is on its way. Although it is kind of hanging out in the middle of the map now. Probably waiting for that cloak.
Getting a report that game sounds are low from Troy. Can you let us know? They're definitely on, but I can bump them up if you can't hear them well enough. Let us know. It's like a drone transfer here for Guitar Cheese to fully optimize his... Whoa. There's 6 drones in the second gas at the third base here. Looks like that was a bit of a miscue here as he sent a second group of 3 in, but there's going to be a Banshee here killing a lot of drones at the third base, and the Hellions coming into the natural as well.
So this could pay off really well. There is a Spore Crawler there, and that Banshee needs to get out of there as fast as it can, but now the Hellions are coming in, and there are a lot of them, so the Queens and Roaches are coming down, but way more drone kills this time around. 16 workers killed at this point, so 12 in this engagement so far, but all those Banshees, or all those Hellions rather, are going to fall.
So that was a pretty good engagement. 16 total workers killed now for Schnitzel, so he's keeping, but Guitar Cheese still just has so many. He's got 75 drones, even with those kills. So, that early economic build that he had just really paid off. So this harassment's just keeping him, steady. He's still doing very well.
Absolutely. It's definitely keeping the income about the same. Guitar Cheese is mining quite a bit more minerals as he is on more bases, and 71 harvesters to 57 harvesters, he's just getting into full swing. He's getting into the location he wants.
Do you see what's going down in Schnitzel's base?
Lots of factories.
With 1 Thor and 1 tank being produced, so we're going to see a huge mech play out of Schnitzel. And what do you think about this? As we saw in the last round of patch talks from Blizzard, they wanted to make mech more viable versus Zerg. So is Schnitzel going to show us what's up, or is this going to be a mistake?
Well, Roaches are have already been down. They're getting their upgrades. They're getting the Hydralisk speed, and I feel like that's the unit composition that you really want against mech. But we'll see. A giant Roach force is heading across the map now, and it's going to try and break into this wall that's mostly supply depots, but there is a tank here going to be doing a lot of damage to these Roaches, and now the Thor's coming forward, the Banshee's coming forward, and those Roaches are going to have a really bad day with those Banshees there.
Yeah, they're going to have to run. They did a little pause there, which is going to end up killing a couple more. But I mean, what are we going to see out of Guitar Cheese to do with this? There's some Hydralisks coming in, but I'm not sure. I mean, Hydras would be good against Thors, but those tanks are just going to destroy those Hydralisk allegation.
Well, if they get into the tank fire, that's absolutely true, but when you have roaches to cover them, the roaches eat up the shots and Hydralisks do the damage. It can be very effective if you can get in there, especially if you're engaging on creep.
So it looks like we're going to have a big stack up here of Schnitzel. We've got the tanks protecting everything, and some Hellbats and Hellions as well. So now I think it's just going to become a turtle game for Schnitzel at this point, defending himself while he gets up the army he wants.
Yeah, he definitely wants to just hold his lines, expand when he needs to, and get those units.
The issue is, I think, for Terran in mech is it's really hard to harass. I mean, he does have the Hellbats, but I mean, as he goes out here, Guitar Cheese is just going to expand to his heart's content, as Schnitzel really doesn't have a whole lot that he's able to do besides harass a bit with these Banshees.
And that's what he exactly intends to do, but Guitar Cheese does have the Spore Crawlers down in preparation, so they are going to be met with a lot of aggression. Queen does go forward. They're targeting down that first Spore Crawler, now targeting the Queen. He's got to micro that Queen back, but he doesn't want to lose it.
Oh, looks like he does have some pretty good control there. He's trying to stay outside the range of that Spore Crawler, but I mean, now Guitar Cheese just knows what's up. He's going to have Spore Crawlers at all the bases, except his Natural he doesn't have one. But I mean, to be honest, the Natural doesn't really need one, I don't think, because the other bases sort of protect that by proxy, because the Banshees have to fly through them to get to that base, so they're sort of protected in their own right. But I mean, now Schnitzel is getting towards 177 supply, Guitar Cheese at almost 200 as well, so we're going to have to see some kind of engagement coming up here soon.
Yeah, Guitar Cheese gearing up to attack. He is taking a 5th base now, so he has a huge economy, and he is sitting exactly where he wants to. He's going to be able to move this army in, and even if he loses it, frankly, he'll be able to remax, as he does have 23 larvae ready to go.
If we look at the army supply, I mean, Schnitzel is a bit higher because Guitar Cheese has nearly 100 drones.
He does have 100 drones, but that is allowing him to have that amazing economy. But here goes this engagement. Hellions and Hellbats are running forward. The tanks are sieged up, and that is doing huge damage to the line of Guitar Cheese.
Yeah, Guitar Cheese just had to pull back out of that. There wasn't a whole lot he could do, because as soon as those tanks were able to siege up, it was going to be death time for all. Oh, but the Roach is tanking a lot of damage here, but he just can't get a push into this army.
Well, Guitar Cheese is playing really smartly as he's trying to play back and forth, attacking when the tanks are unsieged and walking away when they siege up. But with that scan, he's going to know exactly where that army is and be able to siege a little bit beforehand.
Oh, nice split here by Guitar Cheese. Looks like he wants to face this army from both sides, but
that's going to be really smart, as he's going to be able to tank the shots from the tanks in the front and then hit them behind with the Hydralisks. Lots of tank damage going down, but he's taking a lot of damage of his own. Those Roaches are going down. Those Hydras are taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, he did just produce 17 more Roaches a minute ago, now 15 more. Very smart of him to be resupplying with Roaches right now, as he's realizing the Hydralisks aren't going to be that great, but he's swinging around with those to try and get a little damage done. Does kill a few Hellbats here.
But those are very much pinned back now. He's going to have to just retreat into the main base of Schnitzel, and that's just going to end up getting them all killed. Unfortunately, they didn't really have a way out, but he does get a few more unit kills before they go.
I think that's the plan, though. I mean, as you saw, his economy is ridiculous. Like you mentioned before, 17 more Hydras coming in, Hive coming down, so it looks like we're going to be seeing him move into some Vipers here to deal with these tanks.
And he hasn't even exhausted his larvae. He's got 11 larvae unused at the moment.
Oh, burrowed Roaches are going to be trying to sneak up on this Terran army. He does not have any detectors here except for scans, so they're going to try and surprise. Oh, he did see them coming in. Nice scan goes down, and those Roaches instantly just explode with all that tank fire.
Heavy losses there, and we do see that the units lost by Guitar Cheese are about double that of Schnitzel.
Oh, he's going to try and make another engagement, just trying to poke in as this Terran army just slowly moving up, slowly sieging up, but that one Thor is pretty low on health right now.
And Terran is getting his vehicle weapon level 3 right now. It's about 20% done, and Guitar Cheese's level 2 defense just finished up, so there's definitely an upgrade advantage going on for the Terran player, but there's a huge concave here with these Hydralisks getting a lot of damage done, but those tanks are just doing innumerable damage.
And now is where Guitar Cheese is really going to have to get something going here, because the army of Schnitzel is really edging closer to his base, and once he moves in there, that's going to be a real problem for him. Thor coming in, taking a couple pot shots at that Overseer morphing in. Now scans going down to kill the creep tumors, make that recede. That's going to be the advantage of Guitar Cheese right now, is that creep.
especially as Schnitzel continues to try and move into the base with a slow push. But oh my gosh, Overlords are loaded up with all the units they're going to try and drop on top of these tanks. There's not enough Thors to be able to deal with this, and down go the units, but so many tank shots at the same time. Guitar Cheese is getting obliterated, but making a lot of damage, like friendly fire happen as well. So a lot of units lost there.
There's so many SCVs in here, though, repairing all these tanks. How fast? I mean, there was a few tanks that were down on the red there, and those SCVs instantly repairing them up.
33 Roaches in production. There is a couple of Vipers on the field right now. They are trying to get their energy up so that they can be more useful, get those blinding clouds down, get those pulls down. But at the meantime, Schnitzel is at the front of the base of Guitar Cheese, and he's got to deal with this, or he's going to start losing critical structures. That Hydralisk Den is about to fall.
Yeah, and once that Hydra Den falls, as you know, no more Hydralisk, so he's going to be stuck on only Roaches. And luckily for him, there are only 2 Banshees here, but this push is just so aggressive here. He is pulling up a couple tanks, but unfortunately there's nothing to pull them into. Some Blinding Cloud goes down, so that's going to negate some of the tank fire there for a moment, but what else?
I mean, the Roach Warren has gone down, the Hydralisk Den has gone down. All he can do is make links right now, but he doesn't even have...
And there's the GG.
Yeah, there it is. Oh my gosh, Schnitzel taking an early victory against Ymcmb, knocking out Guitar Cheese.